All right, I'm Corey Jordan, and I'm going to show you the power of the W4 and why and how you are supposed to change this form, and why is it going to save you so much money and put so much money back in your pocket if you do the things that the government tell you to do. And we'll show you exactly how to do that. So we have a single one income person. We'll use a female for this example. She makes $48,000 per year. She has two children after school care that cost her $4,800 a year. So the purpose of this form, it says complete Form W-4 so that your employer can withhold the correct federal income tax from your pay. Consider completing a new Form W-4 each year and when your personal or financial situation changes. So, if you got married, your personal situation changed, or if you got had kids, that will change it again. So, you would need to fill this form out again and change some things around. And if your financial situation changes, so if you make less, that could possibly have you to change it. Or if you make more, you would have to change this form because it states some certain income levels to where you might have to do that. But we'll dive right in down here and it you can notice as it says personal allowance worksheet keep for your records. All right. A, enter one for yourself if no one else can claim you as a dependent. So we will put one because no one can claim her as a dependent. B, enter one if you are single and have only one job. So I'll stop right there because we know she's single and she only has one job. So put a one in B. C, enter one for your spouse, but you may choose to enter zero. She don't have a spouse, so no need to read any further on C. So enter zero. D, enter the number of dependents other than your spouse or yourself you will claim on your tax return. So she has two kids, so you'll put two there because she'll be claiming those as dependents. E, enter one if you will file as head of household on your tax return. See conditions on the head of household above. So we'll go above. Generally, you can claim head of household filing status on your tax return only if you are unmarried and pay more than 50% of the cost of keeping up a home for yourself or your dependents or other qualified individuals. And it says see publication 501. So any other qualified individuals could be your disabled mother or your disabled um, mother-in-law, father-in-law, whatever. So that will qualify you for that. All right. F. Enter one if you have at least $2,000 of child or dependent care expenses for which you will plan to claim a credit. Note, do not include child support payments. See publication 503, child and dependent care expenses for details. All right. So, um, so uh, she has $4,800 per year up here is what she pays in daycare a year. So we would go ahead and put one for F. G, child tax credit, including additional child tax credit. See publication 972. Child tax credit for more information. If your total income will be less than 70,000, 100,000 if married, enter two for each eligible child. Then less one if you have two to four eligible children, or less two if you have five or more eligible children. So she has two, so we would less one because two plus two equals four, and it says less one if you have two to four eligible children. All right. H, add lines A through G and enter the total here. So we had came up with a total of 9 right there. And it says here for accuracy, complete all worksheets that apply. If you plan to itemize or claim adjustments to income and want to reduce your withholding, see deductions an adjustment worksheet on page 2. So when we go on page 2, if you want to earn more money on your paycheck and you want to get into a home-based business like MyEcon, we show you how to fill out the page 2, because this is going to put the more money in your paycheck, and you're going to minimize your taxable income through business deductions. And there's over 475 business deductions that you can take as a claim adjustment to income or adjustments to income. And those are things such as your rent. You'll write off a portion of that, because if you're using a home office or if you're using a space for your office, that includes utilities, a portion of that. That includes your cell phone bill, because you need a phone to conduct business these days. Internet bill, miles, meals and entertainment, so much more. And that's going to save you $6,000 a year, if not more, depending on your situation. All right, so we'll go here, page 2. And your standard deduction will be $9,300 because she is filing head of household. But we'll come back up here to page 1, note 1, and it says enter estimated 2016 itemized deductions. So you would look at your last year's tax return and see if you itemize. If not, put 0 in 1. 2, enter 9,300 if head of household. So when it gets down here, subtracting line 2 from 1, if 0 or less, enter 0. That's why it's zeroed out here, because it was going to be 0 anyway. Enter an estimate of your 2016 adjustment to income and any additional standard deductions. See publication 505. So we gave this person each $4,000 and $4,050 is a allowance. So we gave this person, when she came into our business, she should be able to get $4,050 in deductions. Add lines 3 and 4 and enter the total. Include any other credits from the converting credits to withhold allowances for 2016 Form W-4 worksheet. So we brought that down, $4,050. 5, it says enter an estimate of your 2016 non-wage income, such as dividends or interest. If you don't have any, don't put any. 7, subtract line 6 from 5. Line 5, if 0 or less, enter 0. So we subtract the line 6 from line 5, and we got 4,050. Divide the amount on line 7 by 4,050 and enter the result here. Drop any fraction. So 4,050 and 4,050 is 1. Line 9 says enter the number of personal allowance worksheet, line H, page 1. So we had 9 on H on page 1, so we entered that 9. 10, add lines 8 and 9 and enter the total here if you plan to use the 2 earners multiple jobs worksheet. So she don't have a 2 earner multiple worksheet, so we will just go ahead and put the 10. All right, so 10 goes in block 5 on the front side. She will enter a name, social, address, city and state, and she would click single here, sign and date this document, and separate here and give Form W-4 to your employer. Keep the top part for your records. So the only part that you would be giving to your employer is this right here. All this other stuff that you see here, you keep this for your records. That way you're IRS compliant. So if you have your W-4 filled out wrong, they're taking too much of your money that you could be using to invest, run your business, or pay off debts. And that's what they say. It will be more beneficial to you if you paid off debts or invested that money. So I hope that this has shed some light on how this form is to be filled out. And for military members and some other people that have the online version, you won't see this form. So if you need help with filling this out, you can contact me at any time and I will get it done for you. Thanks for listening.